So this is a video that I've wanted to do for a while. I was actually, the whole reason for me posting videos in the first place was I had an idea for a video, and through one thing or another it just kind of got pushed to the end, and I wasn't sure if I could do it justice. But with the sun out and it being quite warm and bright, you start to reflect, and now I think I'm just in that headspace of just get it done, just do it. And you know, for the last couple of months I've had this jacket, this leather jacket hanging up in my hallway, and if you were to walk through my hallway and see this jacket hanging up, you'd probably turn your nose up at it and why has Luke got an old leather musty jacket in his hallway? And you'd be right, it is all of those things, but it's also probably one of the most valuable pieces of clothing I own. And that's because my dad gave it to me, and my dad, who I love and respect dearly, didn't buy this jacket. It wasn't given this jacket. It was my granddad's jacket, who passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. And when I visited my parents earlier in the year, my dad asked me whether this motorbike thing was going to be a serious thing, and I of course said yes. And then he stood up suddenly and disappeared out the room for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, which I thought was unusual. And then he came back with this jacket. You know, it was quite emotional for both of us to receive the jacket. Something that my granddad wore, but something that my dad remembered quite vividly my granddad wearing, his dad would wear. And when my dad was going through my granddad's stuff and trying to sort things out, he was looking for this jacket and couldn't find it, and asked my nana, his mum, where this jacket was. He remembers his dad wearing it, and I think he saved it from another fate of perhaps being thrown in the donated or thrown in the bin, which I'm glad he did save it. And now it's in my possession, and it's an unusual thing having this hung up in my hallway for so long. And it really led me to wonder, what relationship did I have with my granddad? How well did I know him? What parts of him are in me, if any? Because my granddad wasn't a warm or cuddly man. He wasn't someone that would bounce you on your knee and wear the sweaters like you see in the, I guess, the adverts, or what you'd think is a traditional granddad. My granddad was quite a hard, cold man, loved in his own way, but he would wear the t-shirts rolled up in the sleeves and tuck his cigarettes there, have tattoos all down his arm. He looked a bit like Wolverine, which was really cool. That was my granddad, hard man. And because of that hardness, he didn't reveal much. Didn't feel like you could have a heart-to-heart with him. And during COVID, my granddad got sick, as did a lot of older people. And I used that opportunity to call him and just try and find out a little bit more about him. Because my granddad came from London back in the 50s and 60s and had that strong Cockney accent. And he was a butcher, he was a biker, got into lots of fights, had to leave London for gang-related things that I was hoping to get into but never got the time to. And so there was this other person, this history of this man that I wanted to learn but never got the chance to, because our conversations would always leave it on a to be continued. There'd always be a next call to have, until it wasn't. And so when I was told that my granddad had passed away, I didn't really know how I felt. Kind of felt numb. And it's really been the years, preceding that I've had time to kind of digest and think about how I feel. And I feel regret, guilt that I didn't get to know him sooner. I feel like a piece that was there had been removed, which is weird because we didn't have a strong relationship, but I still felt that this piece was missing. A Pennington, my granddad, a part of, my dad is a reflection of my granddad, and I'm a reflection of my dad and my granddad, and that piece is gone. So it's a mixture of feelings, really. And I hope through this jacket I can know him more, I can feel a bit closer to him in a way that I never got to in person and never will again. And so today I'm going to go out for a ride and I'm going to wear this jacket and channel my granddad. Strange. So here we are in my granddad's jacket. Feel a bit of a fraud. And it's warm, so let's see how I fare riding in a leather jacket at 25 degree heat. So the plan is I'm going to go fill up, and then I'm going to ride to, I think it's called the Squires Cafe in Leeds, for a bite to eat. So let's see how that goes. It's mostly motorway riding for about an hour. So maybe with it being a bit cooler, a bit breezier, the leather jacket will protect me. Feels very strange. Very cool that my granddad is coming with me on this journey. Let's get started. Here we are. So luckily there's a petrol station not two minutes away. So a quick fill up. Initial impressions, it's surprisingly really comfortable jacket. I don't think it's ever been leathered, moisturised or conditioned in its life. That just wasn't my granddad's style. So it's a bit stiff, like a brand new leather jacket would be, but not uncomfortable. It has the armour in the arms and the back, so there's that as well. I don't know if it's AA, AAA rated, and I don't know when this jacket is from. I would love to find out when my granddad could have possibly got this jacket. Maybe that'll just remain the mystery. Did he wear the jacket on a motorbike? I don't know. Probably not. But I can dream. I can imagine my granddad wore this on a motorbike once upon a time. All right, let's go. So, got about 60 miles. All being well, like I say, mainly straight up the M1 to Squires Cafe. And this is me trying to find more places just to go that isn't, you know, the Peak District, which is amazing, but I've been so many times, and I'm not one of these people that can just make up a route and go left and right. I need a destination. And I thought, this is the perfect excuse. My granddad's jacket, the beautiful weather, and go to a place that I think is more his speed. Normally I'm on the bike and I'm going to a coffee shop or a pastry shop, and that just isn't my granddad's style at all. A greasy spoon is what you would call them. Something a bit rough and ready. That doesn't that isn't pompous. Not that I'm saying the places I go to are pompous, but a speciality coffee shop of my granddad, it's never going to mix. It never would have mixed anyway. So part of me getting used to the bike is also trying to get used to the motorway as well. Mainly stick to A roads, they're much more fun. But the goal is eventually the usual trips. NC 500, travel to Europe. And if I'm going to do that, I need to get used to the motorways. So this is also another good opportunity to get onto the motorway and just get used to being at such a speed for a prolonged time. having myself coffee and waiting on that burger because I'm starving. And it was a good ride. I don't think the motorway is ever fun to ride. Maybe I'll get used to it, but for now I absolutely hate it. You might be able to hear the motorbikes in the background as they come through, but it was a good ride. It felt comfortable. The jacket held up really well, and with the winds, it was cooling me down, so I never got hot at all. I think he'd have liked it here. It's very old school. Again, very rough and ready. Nothing fancy about it. Sitting there in silence for an hour in my granddad's jacket just gave me a lot of time to think about him, memories that I had of him, and what he meant to me. And my most vivid memories of Grandad was at his flat. He used to collect a lot of stuff, rubbish, tat, it's probably what you'd call it now. And there's a couple of things that I always will remember, and one of it was he had a motorbike in the middle of his flat from the war, green, camo, as you'd expect. I'm not sure what brand it was, but it looked legit. I think it had a machine gun on it. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I swear it had a machine gun on it. Another thing was he used to have a mannequin about 6'2", 6'3", in a military uniform, and it would be one of these mannequins where it would follow you around, you'd move around and the eyes would follow you. It was awful. As a 7-8-year-old, it was terrifying, and he would position this mannequin where, to get to the bathroom, you'd have to pass this mannequin, so it would follow you, which wasn't for me. And he used to have a grey parrot. It's probably an official name for it, but it was a big grey parrot. And an elephant's foot, an umbrella stand, elephant foot, umbrella stand. So it was fair to say he's quite eccentric, was Grandad. And he also used to have this dirty laugh as well. Something made him laugh. It's the same laugh. It was like you told a really dirty joke. And those are the few memories that I have of him, other than, more recently and having a chat with him. And so wearing his jacket, I got to remember all of that all over again. And the jacket held up really well, with the wind. It kept me really nice and cool. I had to take it off now when I've stopped moving because it gets so hot when I stop moving, but for the ride it was great. It's probably not considered fashionable by today's standards, and it's probably not right for the bike as well. But who really cares? So I've just finished my burger and chips in memory of Grandad. And enjoy my coffee, and then ride back before the traffic gets too bad. But I think you would have really liked it here. And with the jacket, because I wasn't as close to him as I wanted to be, I wish I was, you get to imagine, what he used the jacket for. And the reality is he probably didn't use it for much. And he probably didn't use it as a motorbike jacket, he probably just wore it as a normal jacket, but he just liked the look of it. But it's good to think, and it's nice to think, what if he did go out on a motorbike, or he intended to go out on a motorbike with it and just never did. Well, now it has. Hopefully he would have liked the bike. Hopefully he likes the idea of me going out in his jacket on the bike, but we'll never know, I guess. But it was nice just being just this little bit closer to him, which feels like it's been a long time since I could say I was close enough to Grandad. You can almost smell him on the jacket. You can almost hear him in my ear. And things are things, objects are objects until you attach a meaning to them, and the jacket means a lot. Much like our motorbikes do. You know? It's just plastic and metal until we go out on the rides and we enjoy them. That's why we name them, give them genders. So I'll go explore this place a little bit more and then head back.